It takes approximately 500 pounds to crush a human skull.
Go away and I'll upload whatever I have.
So I'm just supposed to get on board and be okay with it?
I will send them the documents that I have that they asked for.
I'm just trying to assist you.
You're not assisting me. You're haranguing over my shoulder and I don't need it. I'm not going to get anything done with you standing right over me. Just go away and I'll upload what I have. It's that simple. You're wasting time. Go away. I'm going to open it. I'm going to send you what they.
I'm not preventing you from opening it, Henry. I'm waiting for you to print out the documents you told me you're going to print out 4 days ago.
Yeah. You'll
so
get
print it out now. I'm right here.
No, you'll get it later.
Why? Later. You can do it now.
You will get it later.
Why can't you do it now?
Because
I waited almost a week.
You can wait another day. You can wait another 4 hours. I don't want you over my shoulder.
I'm not over your shoulder, Henry. I'm standing right next to you.
This is like when you don't even remember half the things you did.
Oh God, Henry, let's not get off track.
No.
Let's focus.
This is why.
Let's not get off track.
No.
This is why. Let's not get off track.
No.
When you try to address a problem with them, rather than facing the issue at hand, they start arguing about inconsequential things not related to the discussion.
This is like when you don't even remember half the things you did.
How many of you know when you've been angry, like you're angry about everything? Do you know what I mean by that? Like, I'm not just angry. Do you remember 3 years ago when we went on a vacation? Do you remember that time? Do you remember that? Do you remember last week you promised you were going to pick that up for me? Do you remember that? And do you remember when our child was born? I mean, it's like, you just go back, and you just start digging for that, you know, because anger is one of those emotions. You just search for all the reasons. We want to stop that from happening. So you go.
God, Henry, let's not get off track.
No.
Let's focus.
This is why.
Let's not get off track.
No.
Let's focus.
This is why.
Let's not get off track.
No.
Let's focus.
This is why. Where you wanted to decide, okay, you understand what you do, and you would go. This is why.
Emotional damage. Emotional damage.
Yes.
Yes, and none of this was your fault at all.
That's right. Not at all.
Which is, how are you going to explain all of those people who disagree with you? It turns out most of us explain those people the same way, by resorting to a series of unfortunate assumptions. The first thing we usually do when someone disagrees with us is we just assume, which is that they're idiots. They have all the right pieces of the puzzle and they are too moronic to put them together correctly. So this is a catastrophe. This attachment to our own rightness keeps us from preventing mistakes when we absolutely need to.
Projective identification is most commonly used to turn someone else into the villain so that the borderline person can validate themselves as the victim in their unresolved trauma narrative. The borderline person creates this projective identification by implementing several abusive behaviors. These include blaming, criticizing, accusing, provoking, stonewalling, and other disrespectful behaviors. These disrespectful behaviors create the needed reaction that the borderline person needs to validate a self-narrative. Most commonly, the self-victim narrative. The borderline person will create a projective identification episode if they experience a childhood trauma trigger or if they are feeling criticized, rejected, stressed,
and becomes what the really wants them to become, the villain rather than the victim.
I think you need to just stop causing problems.